Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Warhammer Roleplay Week continues, as today I am going to dive on in and take a first look at Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound Champions of Destruction from Cubicle 7 Games. This is written by Emmett Byrne, Michael Duxbury, Cody Falk, Elaine Lithgow, and Casey Shee. This 160-page hardcover with PDF carries an MSRP of $39.99. In order to get the free PDF, you must order from Cubicle 7 or one of their partners. Or if you want to just grab the PDF alone, you can do so over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Champions of Destruction for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound. Couple of things to mention before we jump on in. First of all, my friends over at Cubicle 7 were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's important you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of Champions of Destruction, but I do want to give you a really good feel for what you're going to find inside this book. Now, from my understanding, this is going to be mainly player-facing, once again, just like Champions of Order and Champions of Death. And now players will get an opportunity to play as Orruks. Very cool. And once again, powerful Orruks. Not just run-of-the-mill. Let's take a look at the back of the book. Embrace the Wah and become a champion of destruction. Champions of Destruction allows players to create the most brutally cunning or cunningly brutal characters for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound. The book features new destruction-aligned species, new archetypes, new talents, tooth-splittingly destructive new spells, miracles, and more. And then it goes on to tell us what's in the book. But we're going to be peeking inside, so I'm going to skip reading that. So let's start off with the credits page. Lots of people were involved in bringing this to fruition, so let's make sure we give credit where credit is due, especially we've got the illustrators that bring the book to life. So our table of contents, we have brutal and cunning. We've got our archetypes, talents and miracles, spells, equipment, between adventures, so we'll have new endeavors and downtime activities, call to wow, and appendices. A bellowing roar, an incoherent shriek, a belly-shaking laugh. There are many sounds that accompany the thunderous charge of destruction across the realms. All of them, from the smallest grot cry to the greatest gargant roar, express an unbridled primal urge to crush and consume at all costs. Despite this, the average Orruk or Grot simply laughs at the idea of being part of any grand alliance. They constantly bicker and skirmish with each other, only marching under a unified banner when a big boss beats them into shape or promises a better scrap if they follow. Even in the rare and terrifying moments when his forces of destruction gather in great horizon blanketing wahs, bellowing in unison and sweeping across the wilds beneath clouds of crackling green energy, their armies resemble half-organized riots more than disciplined forces. I believe we're going to get some information about the Destruction faction. So it looks like we've got some random tables depending on your species. For short-term goals, we have seen these kind of tables in the other Champions books. So we got long-term goals. We get into our archetypes. So we will find attributes, the species, core skill, then skills, core talent, other talents, and equipment, as well as if there's any sub-faction. We get some info about names. And then we're going to jump on in to the Bone Splitters. As blood sprays and limbs fly, all Orruks hear the wow like a drum beat pounding through their skulls. For most, the sound fades once they catch their breath, but after particularly frenzied battles, some find it never goes away. These are going to be the Bone Splitters. The Wardak, the Wargog Prophet. So here are our archetypes, at least for the Orcs. I think these are factions or tribes, I guess I would say. You have the Fellwater Troggoth, Fungoid Cave Shaman. These look like goblins there. Spider Rider, Web Spinner Shaman. Well, Scuttle Bosses might lead the Stalk tribes on their raids. Web Spinner Shamans are the Spiderfang's true rulers. Web Spinner Shamans encourage spiders to nest on their bodies, particularly the venomous purple skullbacks, and they interpret every bite and subsequent toxin-induced hallucination as a message from the spider god. So we've got the Brute, the Iron Sons. Now we get into Kruleboyz. Thousands of years ago, the Kruleboyz ancestors vanished into the swamps. This is a common occurrence in Gut, where the voracious wetlands swallow any who misstep amid the grasping vines and yawning sinkholes. But the Orruks didn't die in the mire. Instead, they adapted. Physically, the Kruleboyz became lankier, their priorities slimming so they could better slip through the foliage, their warty skin gaining an oily coating from their diet of bog toads and slobber squigs. But the greater challenges happened behaviorally. No longer capable of bashing flat every obstacle and predator around them, the Kruleboyz began to emphasize the Morkish side of their culture, using scare tactics, envenomed weapons, and whatever other dirty tricks they could come up with to get a leg up on their enemies. So they are orcs, just not as brawny and broad. We've got ogres. The Icebrow Hunter, the Man-Eater. When Gorka Morka broke from the pantheon of order, many ogres found themselves free to hunt and eat Sigmar's precious humans. These man-eaters soon started accepting pay to kill just about anyone, but the name stuck, much to the concern of free guilders who find themselves standing next to ogre mercenaries today. Man-eaters are often restless younger ogres looking for adventure and exotic flavors, and in the faraway lands where they sell their swords, or teeth as the case may be, they find it. Sweet. Are these new talents? Yes, they are talents and miracles. So we have Amphibious Bigun Boogeyman. You don a mask of Glareface Frazlegit, a hated god of the Moon Clan pantheon, which the Grots equate with all suns and stars of the mortal realms. Nearby Grots fight with desperate vigor to escape its aura of terror. Pick 'em off, pile in, scare tactics, painkiller. Then we get into our miracles. So miracles for the Bad Moon, Bad Brews, Fangs of the Bad Moon. With an ugly grin, the Bad Moon splits, sneezes, or defecates a shower of Loonstone meteorites onto the battlefield. Choose a zone within long range. All creatures in the zone suffer damage equal to your soul. When you use this miracle, you can spend an additional metal to inflict the prone condition on creatures damaged by this miracle. Then we have ice miracles. We have Blizzard Speaker, Call of the Blizzard, Frozen to Death, Keening Gale. You summon a bone-chilling wind that howls across the battlefield, giving speed to your allies and beast companions. Choose an ally or beast in your zone. The target can immediately charge and gains a bonus to their attack equal to your training in devotion. Miracles of the Gulping God. I believe that is the Ogre God. Miracles of Kragnos. And we got the Spider God. Brood Mind, 8 eyes. You gift an ally with the 8-eyed sight of the Spider God, bestowing the rare and disconcerting experience of having eyes in the back of their head. 8 legs. We have Moon Clan spells. We start getting into spells. Itchy Nuisance, Night Shroud, Squiglure, Bone Crusher. These are Savage Beast spells. You sway in place, causing a swirl of vibrant green energy to coalesce around your head before violently hurtling it at your enemy, shattering bones and rupturing organs. We have Gorka Morka's War Cry. A lot of spells. Then we have some endless spells. Then we get into some equipment. So we've got Wealth and Loot, Beast Skewer, Kill Bow, Belchabana, Chain Trap, Fungus Bruise, Tattoos, Moon Slicer. A Moon Slicer is a gnarled staff topped with a jagged piece of metal beaten into a crescent shape to evoke the bad moon and laced with spiteful enchantments by Moon Clan shamans. And there we have it. Mork's Eye Pebble. So these should be artifacts, I believe. Either going to be artifacts or relics. I think these are artifacts. This treasure of the Kruleboyz looks like nothing more than a dark, river-worn stone, small enough to fit in a Grot's palm. But a Mork's Eye Pebble has been blessed many times by the swamp Kalas, who use its inconspicuous appearance to keep it safe from covetous hands. All right, so we've got Between Adventures. So we'll have some new endeavors for downtime. Amuse the Bad Moon. Dankhold Nap. Hunt, Insult, Offer Tribute. Seek Bounty. Swindle. Among the forces of destruction, value is just a matter of opinion, and opinions change all the time. When you take this endeavor, you convince anyone who will listen that you have priceless artifacts for sale, which you'll exchange for pittance in compensation. Unlike the barter endeavor, the wares you're peddling are worthless, which means your profits are greater, but so are the risks. Call to Wah! So common themes for Champions of Destruction campaigns and adventures. So we have some frameworks. Running big battles. Normally, Soulbound does not focus on the minutiae of great battles and wars between rival armies. The Warhammer Age of Sigmar battle game exists to fulfill these needs perfectly. A good scrap in Soulbound can include dozens of different enemies, but is not suited to the scale of battles between great armies that is often seen in the mortal realms. When it comes to wielding your massive assembled Wah, there are a number of ways you can resolve the clashing of armies at your table. And then we're going to get into our bestiary, or as we see normally, our allies and enemies. The Nash Tooth, Giant Spider, Wereboar. We wrap up with the Index, and that is a look inside Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound Champions of Destruction from Cubicle 7 Games. Sammy Uhas handles the majority of our Age of Sigmar Soulbound reviews, so look forward to a written review from Sammy on Champions of Destruction in a not-too-distant future. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this first look It'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. And of course, when you're not watching videos, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you won't find here on the channel, such as Sammy's aforementioned reviews. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. I will be wrapping up Warhammer Roleplay Week tomorrow. I hope you'll join me. And of course, as always, I certainly hope every one of you always gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.